Russia is accusing the U.S. of adding fuel to fire with plans to send advanced weapons to Ukraine. Moscow warns the move would increase the risk of a direct confrontation with Washington. President Joe Biden has promised to supply Kyiv with more precision rocket systems and ammunition. But he maintained the U.S. is not encouraging Ukraine to strike beyond its borders. On the ground, Russia is moving closer to capturing the Ukrainian city of Severodonetsk. Regional authorities say Moscow's troops are now in control of around 70% of the city.
Честно сказать, я не представляла в свои 65 лет, что я окажусь в подвале. Это типа бомжа. Это жизнь бомжей. Это самое настоящее. Вы мне, конечно, не давайте.
Tensions also building up in Lysychansk, that's a town just across the river from Severodonetsk. The two cities are the last pocket of Luhansk region still under Ukrainian control. If Russia should capture both areas, Moscow will be able to claim control over half of the eastern Donbas region. With shelling intensifying, residents of Lysychansk fear it's only a matter of time before their city falls.
These people is murder.
They're murderers.
Murderers, yes, of course. This is not war on front line. This is war with civilian and without city and town, and destroyed all life.
And Philip Crowther joins us live from Lviv. Philip, Russia quite expectedly has a very negative view of U.S. sending weapons to Ukraine. They say they do not help to encourage further peace talks. On its side, how has Ukraine responded to that?
Well, look, there is gratitude from Ukraine, from the people and the Ukrainian government right now, because there is the certainty here that Western weapons shipments have been crucial so far already in stemming advances from an army that is so much stronger on paper, the Russian army, of course. The government of President Volodymyr Zelensky has pushed for more repeatedly throughout Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And indeed, Zelensky has criticized Western powers for being too slow in providing those weapons that Ukraine needs right now to, for example, stem the tide of relatively slow Russian advances in the east. The reaction from the Kremlin has been this one. A spokesperson saying that the United States, with what is planned on its side, is pouring fuel on the fire. What we're going to see over the next few days, well, already one announcement from Germany that it is going to send modern anti-aircraft missiles and radar systems. The United States will be making its announcement a little bit later today. High-tech medium-range rocket systems will be coming to Ukraine from the United States. And Germany and the United States have said through Chancellor Olaf Scholz of Germany that they, in fact, will be coordinating this help coming to Ukraine. It feels a little bit like a race against time, especially in the Donbas region in the east. Ukraine has said repeatedly it needs more weapons as quickly as possible in order for Russian forces to not achieve their goal right now, which is to take full control of that region, eastern Ukraine.
All right, Philip, the next question, of course, looking at eastern Ukraine. Russia making more gains in the eastern city of Severodonetsk. And we just heard reports, regional authorities saying nearly 70% of that city has already been taken by Russian troops. Any confirmation on that?
Yeah, that's the governor of the Luhansk region, one of the two regions that Russia wants to get under its control, who says that indeed 70% of that city is now controlled by Russian forces, and indeed that there have been some retreats of Ukrainian soldiers. There are two cities left in the Luhansk region that are not yet under Russian control. According to that same governor, Russia has at least 95% of that territory now under its control. And that leaves that city that you already mentioned, Lysychansk. It's just the other side of the river from Severodonetsk. That is still under full Ukrainian control, says the governor of Luhansk. We've heard from the president as well, from Volodymyr Zelensky, in an interview with the American network Newsmax. He says that between 60 and 100 Ukrainian soldiers are killed every day in fighting with Russia. That is an enormous number. He also says, by the way, in a note of optimism, and this was in his address to the nation yesterday that he puts out daily, he says that there have been some successes in the region of Kherson, that's in the south of Ukraine. He says that there has been a retreat of Russian troops there, and that indeed, while they are retreating, they are blowing up some bridges. So we'll look closely at whether Ukraine, at the same time that it loses some ground in the eastern Donbass region, whether it can maintain and gain further ground in the south of the country.
And thanks very much for that update. Philip Prather reporting from Lviv.